Your cat may not always show it, but they crave comfort, safety, and joy, just like we do. The problem? Some of the things that bring them the most happiness are so subtle, most owners overlook them. But once you know what to look for, it's easy to turn their day around in seconds. You're touching them all wrong. Okay, this is a huge revelation. Are you ready? Your cat is not a Labrador. Huge twist, I know. But what I mean by this is that most cats don't crave random hands on their forehead like some kind of meat-based magic 8-ball. And that's where we pet parents and our cats find ourselves at cross purposes, because an awful lot of humans see a cat and go straight for the head like they're hitting a giant living snooze button. A study from the University of Nottingham conducted around 5 years ago determined that cats show more affiliative behavior when allowed to initiate contact rather than being approached. This doesn't mean petting them is wrong. You are allowed to touch your cat, but the key is to avoid it being unsolicited. Let the cat make the first move, always. Start by offering a finger close to their face, like you're asking them for their autograph. If they boop it with their nose or cheek, that's a green light. If they ignore it, respect the snub. You wouldn't enjoy surprise shoulder rubs, even from a close acquaintance, and neither would they. If you want an extra pro tip, and hey, why are you here if you don't? Focus on the base of the ears, the cheeks, and under the chin, because those spots and stuff to the fluff are loaded with scent glands. When your cat rubs them on things, or even you, they're scent marking, so rubbing them there makes them feel more in control of their environment. Your voice is wrong. Is the way you talk to your cat wrong? To be frank, whoever he is, most probably yes. But not because of anything you've ever done wrong, because the way you talk is too human. Sorry if that sounds human-shaming. Cats don't understand our words, but according to studies, what they do comprehend is tone, rhythm, and intention. One such study, published in Animal Cognition back in 2022, found that cats prefer higher-pitch, sing-song tones. The researchers wrote that domestic cats were significantly more attentive and responsive to cat-directed speech than to adult-directed speech, which is all well and good, but what the dickens does that mean for you and your day-to-day life with your cat? It means your cat wants you to sound like a deranged bird cooing lullabies, not a tax accountant asking where the remote is. Next time your cat saunters into the room to join you, lower your volume, raise your pitch, and repeat their name with a soft rhythm. You likely see their ears flick, tail raise, maybe even a slow blink. Congratulations, you just spoke to a cat. They're craving predictable surprises. There is something your cat is craving. Your cat craves, and here's the oxymoron, predictable surprises. Cats hate chaos more than Tom hates Jerry, but they love novelty more than Garfield loves lasagna. So how do you, as their devoted pet parent, feed both instincts? It's less of a riddle than it seems and quite simple in theory. Build rituals that offer small, controlled surprises. A classic example is what feline behaviorist Mikel Delgado calls patterned enrichment. That means introducing variation within a predictable frame. Maybe every evening at 6:30, you bring out a wand toy for some classic shenanigans. But one night it's the bird. Then the next, it's the bug. Same thing, different toys. The fun is predictable, but the specifics of the play are a surprise. In his work, Delgado emphasizes that this kind of interaction builds a sense of both trust and excitement all at once, because your cat can anticipate fun, but doesn't know exactly what form it will take. This doesn't just make them happy, it makes them feel secure and in control. And a cat in control is a cat who doesn't poop in your shoe. They desperately want vertical territory. Throughout ancient history, folklore, and myth, there are tall tales of men honoring those that they love by building sculptures or towers to symbolize their devotion. Remember that for a moment. Your cat isn't attempting to do an impression of a pint-sized fluffy Batman when they sit atop your fridge. They're not doing it for the Instagram likes, though if you snapped a shot of them and posted it, you definitely get a fair few likes. Nor are they trying to get into the minds of their mortal enemies, birds. According to the domestic cat, the biology of its behavior, they're doing it because elevation equals safety. Access to these elevated sites allows your cat to do a sweeping scan of their territory, rest without being disturbed, and avoid potential threats. So if you've not offered your cat any vertical spaces that they can climb, you are unknowingly denying them a base instinct they need to fulfill. Make sure the top of that bookshelf isn't too cluttered for them to sit on. It's prime feline real estate. And if you have the cash to splash and the room to use, invest in a proper cat treat. If not, things like floating shelves or just clearing the top of a cabinet can work wonders. Give them height and you give them peace. So make like the ones from those ancient tales and provide a tall monument if you wish to keep your cat happy. You're playing wrong. Yes, even if you play. Play. Playing with your cat will always bring them joy. But there's a caveat coming. I mentioned you might be touching your cat wrong, but the other thing you might be doing wrong, not to pile it on and make you feel bad, is that you might be playing with them wrong. Playing with your cat? Wonderful. But playing with them like a cat? Now that's the good stuff. Most pet parents let their human instincts get in the way. They move the toy too fast, too randomly, or too much like a drunk squirrel. So how should you be playing with them? Cat behaviorist and perfect name-haver Jackson Galaxy sums it up in a way I really like personally. He says, you have to think like prey. Prey doesn't fly into your cat's face. It hides, it scuttles, it pauses, it waits. The key is not to play as a human, because play for your cat is not just about play. It's about recreating hunting. That's why the key to giving your cat the perfect play session is to mimic a real hunt. Start slow, hide the toy, let it peek out, twitch it once, wait, then scurry away. Let your cat stalk, pounce, capture, embrace your inner actor, darling. We've all got one. You could even go so far as to end the session by letting them kill the toy, followed by a small treat. This gives your cat closure to the prey drive cycle, something researchers call the predatory sequence. Break the sequence, your poor fluffball is left unsatisfied. It's like the waiter put the food down on your table, let you sniff it, then whipped it away before you could eat it. Their litter box location might be a psychological war zone. Where you place your cat's litter box is crucial. You want it a little out of view because very few people want to look at poop. You want it tucked into a corner so the smell can't waft toward you with ease, because very few people want to smell poop. But hold on, Sonny Jim, because when it comes to litter box placement, it's not just things that affect you that must be taken into consideration, but things that affect your cat. I mean, it is their poop after all. That little plastic box tucked in the corner behind your dryer means you can't see and smell it, so that's grand. But it feels like a death trap for your cat. We have another little bit of a hypocritical oxymoron on our hands, like earlier, because cats want privacy and visibility. Confusing? Yes. But it simply means that cats need to be able to see threats coming, even while doing their business. And no, I don't mean running their Etsy shop. Veteran Dr. Sarah Ellis writes in The Trainable Cat that cats prefer to eliminate in areas where they have both a sense of safety and an ability to monitor the environment. So if you've placed the litter box in a tight space with one exit, or next to loud machinery like washing machines, because you don't want to have to deal with the sight or smell all day every day, sorry mate, you've accidentally built a feline anxiety chamber. Move it to a quieter, more open spot with clear sight lines and two ways out, and skip the covered boxes. They trap scent, heat, and paranoia. You forgot the power of the hidden den. You know how teenagers can be a bit obsessed about their bedroom? Well, every parent should respect that because teenagers exist in this weird space where technically they're adults, but living with the frustrating lack of agency of childhood. Having a space to call their own, a private little hidey hole, is vital to ensure they feel respected and have privacy. And cats are much more like humans than we realize. They need the very same thing, a private retreat, a place where no one can reach them, not even you. Anthropologically speaking, this is because they are genetically designed to survive. In the wild, even apex predators need a base. This is why a study from the journal published in Behavioral Processes found that cats who have access to an enclosed hiding place showed lower stress responses in unfamiliar environments because they had a way to process their emotions in peace. And it doesn't even need to be fancy. They don't need a Bond villain-style secret base. Though if you have the budget to build that, oh my gosh, please do it and send me photographic evidence. A cardboard box with a blanket, an empty drawer left open, a blanket-draped chair. Anything can be a real tucked-away cave. And what's vital is to treat the little cove you create as a true cat church. Respect it. Don't call them out of it, or lift them out, unless absolutely necessary. Let the sermon of privacy complete. Want to know if you've succeeded in keeping your cat happy? Check out my video, 5 Things That Cats Do Only for Their Favorite Humans.